Do the qualifications of an overseer really apply to those who are just called to do a discipleship group or something like that? Let me ask you a question. What qualification of an elder or a deacon isn't something that every Christian should aspire to? Because they are supposed to be people who are above reproach, the husband of one wife, self controlled, sensible, respectable, hospitable, able to teach. We'll get back to that one in a second. They're not supposed to be an excessive drinker, not a bully, but gentle, not quarrelsome, not greedy. They must manage their own household competently and have his children under control with all dignity. They must have a good reputation among outsiders. They should be worthy of respect, not hypocritical, not greedy for money, holding to the mystery of the faith with a clear conscience. Like, what about all of that should we not aspire to as brothers and sisters in Christ? We often separate out those qualifications as if they only belong to those who desire to be an overseer. But really, what Paul is calling out here in First Timothy is that elders, overseers, are ones who are exemplary in showing these qualities and this character. And this all circles around to this idea of being able to teach. Because if you don't have those qualities, you're not a good teacher. Because what does Jesus say in Matthew 10? A disciple is not above his teacher. Unless we think that's some kind of like ordering thing, what does Jesus say in the very next verse? It is enough for a disciple to become like his teacher. Disciples don't become like your curriculum. They become like you. If you are not self-controlled, if you're not disciplined, if you're not able to teach correctly, then your disciples are going to reflect that. That's why James says in James 3 that not many should become teachers, because you know that you will receive a stricter judgment. Now, we misunderstand what James says here because we immediately focus in on if anyone does not stumble in what he says, and we think that stricter judgment is because of how accurately we convey the truth. That's not what James says. James says, for we all stumble in many ways. The way that we are primarily judged in our teaching comes from the way in which we walk, not from what we say, although that is important, because it is out of the overflow of the heart that the mouth speaks. What you say is really just a signal flare, a symptom of a much larger problem. That's why I really don't buy into the argument that what makes a good Christian content creator is simply in what they say and the truth that they present. Because to be honest, there are content creators out here that only do this because they wouldn't be given a teaching role within the church, and they make their converts twice the sons of hell that they are. And it's evident in the way that they act, that they're bullies, they're not kind, they're not gentle, they're